welcome back once again. Wednesday night edition of Inside the Headset. Going to roll over to Memphis, folks. Going to talk to the private school sector and going to talk to my good friend, the head coach of the Memphis Purple Wave, head coach Thomas McDaniel. How you doing tonight, Coach?
Doing great, Stewart, man. Thanks for having me.
Well, I appreciate you getting on. I was a little concerned because normally you're Johnny on the spot and answering everything, but I know the Google Voice number may mess you up a little bit. But personally, I do follow you on social media and everything. It looks like you had a wonderful summer.
Yeah, man, it was a good summer. It was nice to kind of get out of the pandemic for a while and feel like there was some normalcy. I think it was something that I personally didn't take for granted, being able to just be back in regular atmospheres with kids and just practice football and lift weights and vacation and just do all those things. But again, here we are taking steps backwards, and it's discouraging. But if you're doing it for the right reason, if you're in it for the kids, and that's your number one priority. So one way or another, we're going to figure out a way to keep this thing rolling and keep moving in the right direction.
You still hold the office of coaches, the head of the Coaches Association for the state of Tennessee?
I am. We had a great off season there. Again, the pandemic forced you to do things in a different way, and it made us reevaluate kind of our model for registration. And then we did head coach spotlights with the four Division I schools in Tennessee, which was a huge success. And then we did weekly, I guess, whatever you want to call, video coaching clinics. So we got our membership up over 1,000 for the first time, and I don't know if it's ever been that high, but we got over 1,000 members this year. So that's in a real good spot. And, again, this time of year is not a whole lot going on, but really proud of the work we're doing as a state for the game of football.
Anything, as far as the Coaches Association, anything that, any messages you send out to any of these guys? I'm just curious, as you try to say, as all coaches will be busy Friday night. Like, what is the big topic other than COVID? Take that out of it, Coach McDaniel. But what is the other big thing you're hearing about? Is it just the heat, or what is it?
Yeah, I think that what we try to do as an association is to make sure that we are a unified voice with the TSSAA, and that we have a voice with them. And I don't think for many years that coaches in our state felt like we had that. And I know right now that coaches across the state feel like they can be heard through our association. So I can only speak for myself personally, but I know that I have a direct contact with the TSSAA on a regular basis. I know that they look to us for guidance and advice and what coaches in the state want. And I think there's, kind of a whole gamut of issues that arise, whether it be officials, chain crews, rules that are coming down the pipe, changes in rules or whatever, the heat index, spring practice, all that stuff. And again,
wow,
sometimes it's not, it's not always things that we want. We always want more. But I do think that, we have to be realistic and understanding that, in a lot of places, kids are playing multi-sports. We got to try to let and encourage kids to do that. We got to try to protect the athletes. It should be the number one priority. So, you can't practice the way you did 15 years ago. And guess what? It forces you to reevaluate and reconsider what you're doing. And there's 30,000 different ways to skin the cat. It doesn't mean you have to practice in full pads every day to be physical. And, so again, most of it is good. It's about continuing to reassess and figure out how we grow the game and make it better for the next generation and continue to get kids to play football. Because, again, some parts of the state, you may not see it as much, but in certain areas, it's getting harder and harder for us to attract kids to play this great game, and that's one of our jobs, is keep enhancing the sport and making sure we're sending the right message out there to young people.
Coach, you're a great leader, and I can't think of anybody else. If I was a active coach and anything that I can do, I know I helped Coach Creasy with a couple of videos, and I wouldn't mind helping you all out, helping those coaches, execute those videos or helping them put those together. I mean, I don't have a problem doing that. I've done many of them, but no, I mean, people don't know how fortunate it is. And you talk about a voice, and I know you have been in this situation because I've been with you before, and there has been a situation where you felt like I don't think my kid actually should have been thrown out of a game on a Friday night contest. Now he's out, and but you still, even if whether he's been thrown out or not, or can't participate or whatever the rule is, and I'm just using that as an example, you still want a protocol or a way to go about. Okay, so what's the process if I want to say all you guys are wrong and I'm right? Regardless if you're right or wrong, you still want to be heard. But what is the process? And that's important, isn't it, Coach?
It is. Again, it's just everybody, all of our governing bodies included. You got to continue to do self-reflection and figure out what is the best way to go about handling every situation. And again, you're picking on a scab there for me that I hadn't thought about in a long time. But that's just one example where ultimately sometimes officials have tough jobs, and as you probably know, it's getting harder and harder to get people to become a qualified official. So that's a whole nother dilemma for our game
yes.
now. But
yes,
yeah, but again, at the end of the day, if we're really all of us are doing it for the right reasons. You're doing it for the kids, and sometimes people make mistakes. They do something that you shouldn't do, but sometimes it's the wrong call. And if it's the wrong call, hey, let's just figure out a way to make it right. So it's any and all that.
yes.
And again, for me, I've told people multiple times, I don't really know how I got into the Coaches Association. I just kind of got pulled in one day at a Vanderbilt clinic, and then 2 years later I was the president, and I don't really know how that happened, and I still don't know how I'm still in that seat. But what I do know is I'm grateful for the game that taught me so much. It's given me a great life. It's the least I can do to give back a little bit, and I've been fortunate to have a lot of coaches on the board that think like I do, and well, we just want what's best for the game of football and for young people in general. So it's in a positive place. It's something I don't mind investing time in because the game's given me so much.
I really appreciate you doing that, and I appreciate you taking the time to share it, because a lot of people don't understand what is the Coaches Association, or what are they trying to do, or whatever, and just you sharing a little bit about it. It's bigger than what a lot of people think, and it's got a lot of moving parts, and it's got a lot of membership, but like you said, it has to have unification in some way and protocol, and as long as it's safety and continuing the sport, that's all we care about.
Exactly.
All righty, let's get into it. So, how has of course, you're in you're in an area it's the hottest area in Tennessee, Coach, other than Mississippi, and you might as well be in Mississippi and Memphis. But it's hot in Memphis. How is this first part of the season? Your walkthroughs, and how's all this going?
Oh, it's been it's been rough, man. I'm not gonna lie. We've gone on probably 5 weeks of morning lifting and then evening practices at 7 o'clock, and then you turn around and come back in at 6 a.m. And I'm ashamed to say that it's going on 5 weeks where I've not gotten to see my girls very much. But that's part of the this is part of the nature of the business. But 10 or 12-hour days have quickly shifted to 16, 17-hour days, and people will say that they work 80 hours a week, but until you do 80 hours a week for multiple weeks, I mean, it's a grind. I love it. I enjoy everything about it, but it does wear on you. And one of the things that we can't control is the heat here in Memphis. So we have a unique situation where we play on turf. Our stadium's kind of down in a hole. It's a lot of concrete around there. There's not a lot of breeze. So our heat index can fluctuate and be drastically, amplified considering all those factors. So we've been going at 7 o'clock at night until this week. And honestly, as I'm talking to you, I just pulled up, and it's 7 o'clock, and, whatever, I leave the house at 5 and I don't get home to 7, that's a 14-hour day. But that feels definitely a hell of a lot better than what has been 10:30. So, the days are long, the nights are short. They all seem to run together. But again, man, we're getting to be out there coaching kids. We're in a hotbed right now with COVID. It's been a real eye-opening, humbling, brutal smack in the face, to be honest. I mean, it was really about a week ago. It was almost 2 weeks ago on Friday. So I don't even know what day it is. Today's Wednesday. 2 weeks ago on Friday, on August the 6th, I believe, that I had the first conversation where I had a gut feeling that we were not out of the woods. And you have to remember, we went all summer with no masks. Everything was back to normal. Everybody's happy. We don't have to worry about COVID anymore. And here we are 2 weeks ago, and it's like, man, I got a bad feeling. And it's been a rough 2 weeks. I mean, we've had a couple guys test positive. We've had multiple guys pulled out of school because of social, close contact, and it's really been a revolving door. We've had a lot of injuries. It's been a very trying last 3 weeks. I think at one time, at my latest count, we had 26 people on the roster that were out of a practice for various reasons. So never have I dealt with it as much as we are right now between injuries, close contact tracing, and positive tests. We haven't had our whole football team or our whole roster together in well over a month. So it's difficult, man. I mean, it's challenging. Again, you're going to always have injuries, and there's going to be somebody out, and there's going to have to be somebody step up. But when you're out right now, today, we have 4 starters on defense that I would tell you very strongly are starters that are out, have been out for significant time. I mean, that's hard to overcome no matter who you are. And offensive line's been a revolving door because of multiple issues. And, again, because of our numbers, we've been able to keep it together and make it work, but we've had to readjust some things that we do in practice. We've had to be a little more protective at times, and I'd be lying if I said it's not, it's a little bit scary going into the first game because it's like our special teams depth chart. Our special teams depth chart literally has to be evaluated and changed on a daily basis. I mean, because every day, one of my junior receivers yesterday didn't feel well, stayed home, and he should have. He's gotten tested but hasn't received a result, and he's on 3 special teams as a starter. Well, that's 3 new spots that we got to find somebody for. And again, we practice to build that depth, but it's still, again, a revolving door. So just trying to get the consistency, get some, I guess some flow about what you're doing. It's just very difficult right now.
Wow. And I appreciate you. Nobody does a better job. I love the intensity, and I mean I hate it for you, the information, but nobody delivers it like you do, Coach McDaniel, and you give it all and punch by punch and blow by blow, and it's just it is. And here you are. You've got a Germantown game coming up against the Red Devils, and you need to get into that game, and you need to get in to get what you need to get done because you've got Innsworth coming up here week 3. I mean, I know Sheffield, and you got to take care of what you got to take care of, but you don't have an easy schedule, Coach.
No, I mean, and I'll tell you, to go back to the day to day of just the transition from who's here and who's not here is what I don't think anybody knows, and it's not necessarily something that they need to know, but coaches know that you go into a practice every day. First of all, your practice plan is scripted out for a week. I mean, there's certain things I want to get done on Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. I mean, you got plans, and then you've got people that you've scripted, and then you've got concepts that you've scripted, and you've got looks that you need to see against different formations and coverages and routes and all these things. And so when you lose 1 or 2 people, and it throws everything off for the consistency of practice. So that alone, you put hours upon hours of work into that stuff, and then it gets flipped upside down. So that's difficult. Obviously every team's goal, number one, is to win the opener. I think it's always important, in my opinion, even at my time at Oakland. I mean, you want a good first game. Like, you want the first game to be, you want it to be a meaningful game. And this one is a old rivalry. It's played for a lot of years. Gene Robinson is a young guy doing a great job at Germantown. It's his second year, even though they didn't play last year. He's been there for a year. His numbers are very high. They got a lot of kids out, very athletic, very big. So, I mean, it's going to be one heck of a challenge for us, and we're going to play on Saturday night. So we're playing on a Saturday. It's going to be the only game in town. It should be a lot of fun. We're going to have a big crowd, and it's going to be, it's going to definitely be a tough task for us to win that opener.
Is that an NFHS, or do I got a? Is that going to be a free game, or
That is cbhs.org.
that's you?
Yeah,
That's
we're going to
Christian
be.
brother.
Yeah,
That's Christian Brothers
we're
Network.
actually when you came down, and I believe maybe in 19 or maybe in 19 you came down to the Bob Jones game, I believe.
Yes,
But
sir.
we have shifted this year. We've always been a radio sponsor where we pay for radio airtime, and we have shifted this year that we're going to do a true live streaming broadcast. Our
Good for you.
announcer, yeah, an announcer guy named Eli Savoy does a great job. He's been kind of the voice of the Purple Wave for a long time. He's going to be shifting over to TV, and we're streaming everything from our website. So I'm excited to see that. I know. I think we're going to be putting a good product out there, and it's getting our kids within the school involved, and pregame interviews with student athletes, halftime interviews with me and assistant coaches, and it's going to be different. But I think we're doing the right thing and moving in the right direction. So you can be anywhere in the country and watch us if that's if that's what you want to do.
I cannot wait to watch you Saturday night, and you will
Saturday
be on.
night, brother.
You will be on the big screen, so you can watch me Friday night.
Friday.
Because
Yep.
I've got Smyrna Stewart's Creek, and that'll be a pretty good game. Ben's going to have his hands full. Matt's got a pretty good quarterback, so I'll have a pretty good game.
I've heard. Yeah, I and obviously I try to tune in when I have Fridays. I try to tune in and I'll chirp at you every once in a while. But I'm excited for Ben. Ben, I got to coach Ben for a year, and when he was in high school, and we probably had a stronger connection as a player coach than I even realized at the time. And we kept in touch as he was in college and GA, and was able to bring him back to Oakland and worked with me there. And I'm excited to watch him. I've heard nothing but good things about what he's done with his program, and I know Smyrna is going to be a big challenge for him. I think you know better than me, but I don't think Stewart Creek's ever beaten Smyrna.
Nope, they haven't.
So, yeah. So anyway, I'll definitely be tuning in. I'm excited to watch the game, and I've heard that Smyrna's definitely got some good players as well. So that should be a fun one for y'all to open up with.
Yeah, that should be, and he's got an experienced quarterback and everything, and but Ben's got a hell of a kicker. I mean, he got a kid that can boot it all the way to Jonathan from Smyrna. I mean, he can lay it out there. Well, we got to
talk. They're going to let you back in there. I'm assuming that's got to be named after Bud Rakes, I would assume.
Oh, I'm not going over to Smyrna. They won't let me back over there. What do you mean? This game's at Stewart's Creek. Stewart's Creek loves me.
Okay.
Stewart's Creek loves me, man.
I got you.
They love me. I can't go back over to Smyrna. They ran me off. I can't go to Smyrna. Can't go to Siegel. Now Oakland, I'm back in over there, and it wasn't that I was out. It's just that Oakland did a little bit of their own streaming, but they've agreed that on the nights that I want to come, they'll let me come. They don't have a problem with it. And that's kind of, I'm really fortunate, Coach. Everybody in the county, nobody said no. Everybody has opened their arms and said, if you want to come out anytime, come on. And so it's a great feeling. I'm sitting in the catbird seat now because, for the region and everything, I've got all I want. I'm busy
Right.
and got a good flavor in the county, and I'm having a lot of fun running around. And I hate it I can't do more of you, but I just interviewed Kit. Of course, Kit now slid over to Mount Pleasant, so he's over there. And so it's a little bit of a different flavor. Now Wheels come home, so Wheels over at
Yep.
Ravenwood. So, it's
Yep.
shifted. But it's better. It's actually the best set of coaches. I mean, I've got a heck of a portfolio of coaches that I'll be interviewing every week, and it's going to be a lot of fun. But, other than that, tomorrow will be just a regular another practice for you all. But
Tomorrow's a Wednesday.
yeah, tomorrow is a Wednesday for you. Well, Coach, stay healthy. I will be watching you Saturday night, and we wish you the best of luck. And I'll be sure and reshare that link and all that good stuff, and let people know that Christian Brothers Purple Wave will be in action on Saturday.
Saturday night, man, 7 o'clock. Hey, listen, do you have a title sponsor for your games?
Yes, John Jones Real Estate. Nobody sells homes like John.
It's a man that truly delivers. Stork, love you, brother.
All righty, we'll see you soon, Coach. Take care.
All right, man.
Bye.
See you.